I've recently been drafted by a group of friends into a fantasy football league, which is a sport I have effectively zero interest in and an activity I don't understand and therefore fear deeply. Is there any way to take part in this league and not embarrass myself while at the same time avoiding actually learning anything about football in the process? That's from Sam from Lakewood.
Sam, why did you agree to do this?
This fucking guy. How can I get better at this thing without trying?
And also, I didn't want to do it anyway, but I'm doing it.
Did you like literally get drafted? Like your number was up, and it was like, Sam, you're in. What? No.
Guys, you gotta help me. I'm 1A in the football draft.
What you gotta do is you gotta chop your finger off, and that's the only way to get out of the draft.
Yeah, it's like I tried to let me hit the space bar on my keyboard. No can do. Sorry, guys.
I mean, I'm in a fantasy football league, and I don't know anything about football. It hasn't slowed me down. I mean, it slowed me down from doing well in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I came in dead last place because I kept forgetting to set my team for the week. But that's not because I don't give a shit. It's just I'm very busy.
I think the nice thing is, like, depending on what service you're using, most of them say, like,
who is the best.
They'll
one?
make some. Who's the best one? You can usually just ask your computer aloud, who is the best one, and you can do a lot that way. There's also, like, when you're doing the actual draft, you can get a top 200 rankings, and once you've just sort of gone down that list, once you've extended past that list, but at that point it's just guessing.
It is just who's gonna be good this year. Can you get to the fucking ball fields and, like, check these dudes out?
I figured out the solution. One word.
God.
3 syllables.
Okay.
Moneyball.
You're talking about sabermetrics now.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this.
I
I don't
to
know
watch
anything.
the movie Moneyball.
Okay.
We haven't seen it, so we can't make this advice any more applicable.
Okay, and then you need to hire Jonah Hill.
I watched
to run your team for you.
The problem is I watched Moneyball, and the math of Moneyball is all based on fucking points on the board. And, like, that works for Moneyball, but for fantasy football, it's like you don't want a nose tackle that is going to get a lot of touchdown scores. Because
He's gonna put the points. He's gonna put the points up.
He is, but I think it's actually negative.
A little bit older.
I think
He's
it's
62.
negative.
There's still some life left in him.
It's negative points if your defense gets uppity and decides to start scoring touchdowns. It's like, guys, you have a very specific job. We don't need you showboating and taking it to the red zone.
But you could do. You always see that in sports movies though, where it's like, we need a kicker, and then they, like, bring in the dude who's like, you know, he's just been the worst tackle all his life, and then he turns out to be an amazing kicker.
Sure.
So why don't you, in your fantasy football draft, maybe draft some people in that aren't in the positions you're putting them in?
That's fun. So for your lead quarterback, you went ahead and you picked the coach of the team, which is interesting. I don't know how you hacked the website in order to do that. Your offensive line is the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, which is that's an interesting strategy.
Moneyball.
You did Moneyball it, though, so I guess I got to give you points where points are due. 0 of them, specifically.
Randy Moss.
All right.
That's your insider tip?
Justin with a hot tip. You got to get to the pitch. And you got to scope these dudes out. You got to. Here's an important lesson I learned when nearly all of my players were injured simultaneously. Is you got to scope out these dudes' injurability, because if you can make it to the end without anybody fucking dying or murdering somebody, then you have picked a damn good team. Look at their bones. Ask about their bones. How do your bones feel, Jermichael? Jermichael, can I inquire about your bones?
Mr. Finley, tell me about your bones.
Specifically your leg bones, because, man, I need those good.
Your holding bones would be ideal too. If your ball holding bones.
Which arm do you use to just sort of tuck that ball in? Your right one? Let me check out that right tib. Looking pretty good, Jermichael. Drink this milk. It's special milk. It's got ball bearings in it.
It's gonna lubricate you. I think you got to get out of this league, Sam. Sam, you got to get out of this league. No matter how hard you work at this, you're going to come up against a wall of disinterest from yourself.
Here's how you get out of it. First meeting, right? Show up to the draft wearing a wizard's robe and carrying a sword and say, I'm ready for the fantasy.
Right.
And then they're going to ask you to leave.
Yep.
Say you were prepared by your fantasy seamstress, and now you're ready to fucking rocket to Russia.
You could also try to make it seem like you know too much about football to be in the league, here's how I'd recommend doing that. Go in and ask your buddy, so do you draft an entire team defense or do you draft individual defensive players? And then when they answer that, then you tell them that you've done that before and it's beneath you. You can't do that again.
Right.
And then it'll make it seem like you love football and you love drafts. You just don't love this football draft.
And then when you draft the worst team ever drafted in fantasy football history, that illusion will be so mysterious to them because they'll be like, damn, I thought Jeff knew shit. I thought Jeff knew the shit about this.
You could play that out like with every pick you make. If it's really bad, just act like you're way more plugged in.
You wrote down Chris Sabo. What the fuck are you? Shh. Got some
Just
insider
lay your finger
tips.
beside your nose and wink.
I checked out Sabo's bones. That dude's collarbones are fucking tight.
I checked out his Sabones.
His eyeballs, I won't lie, leave a lot to be desired. Not a lot of glasses allowed on the pitch, but this guy's collarbones, disgusting. He's ripped.
You could grate Gruyere on this guy's collarbones. They're amazing. His Sabones.
God,
They're indestructible.
I miss Chris Sabones.
Me too.
Oh,
love that cat.